I want to know, what was the elevator pitch for this movie? So get this, there's a 355-foot lizard. He's a big boy that breathes blue nuclear fire, and he visually telegraphs this by slowly lighting up like the world's biggest Christmas tree. It's a sight to see, but like not too close. Anyway, so it turns out there are other ancient creatures still kicking who believe that they should sit on the Iron Throne, and get this, one of them is another giant lizard, but it has 3 heads and can fly. But Godzilla is all, "Not today, Satan," and kicks their collective butts, and the surviving humans cheer that the world hasn't completely ended. What do you think? Make me proud. Godzilla, King of the Monsters is directed by Michael Dougherty, that sounds Irish, with the cast of Michael Chandler, Vera Farmiga, Millie Bobby Brown, Ken Watanabe, and I am so sorry, Ziyi Zhang. To be clear, this is a monster movie. Y'all know what you're getting into. So this is a sequel to the 2014 Godzilla, which I know some people are split on. I happen to be in the camp of people who enjoyed it. I didn't mind that we got peaks of Godzilla and it was predominantly shown and told through the perspective of us tiny humans. It got me pumped about Godzilla. It made me want to see more. And I will state that it wasn't until this year that I even saw the 2014 Godzilla and the 2017 Kong Skull Island. Before that, the only Godzilla movie I had seen when I was a kid was the 1998 version, and that is a special thing all on its own. So before catching up on this Western take and reboot of this, can I call it a classic monster tale? We'll go with that. I had been a casual fan. Now though, feel free to make as many Godzilla movies as you want, Hollywood. I am in, I will watch them, and I will certainly be watching what these now 3 movies have been building up to, and that is the 2020 Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, while the previous 2 movies had essentially focused on the fallout of human arrogance, this newest installment, it does have that element, but it also adds in human oversight. I kid you not, this movie happens because some characters did not do thorough enough history research. So the characters, I can't say that all of the characters are fully developed. Some of the characters don't have particularly strong character arcs. There's not really any super complex characters. When it comes to the dialogue, some of it can be a bit clunky and a little bit silly at times when I don't think it means to be. And there is a scene, it's about a 5-minute scene that essentially explains the plot to the audience. I get that we needed to understand why things were happening, but I feel like it could have been presented and delivered in a less on-the-nose way. I do think that the actors, they were doing the best with what they were given. Some of the actors were very well aware of what kind of movie they were in, while others went for a slightly more dramatic fashion. I would say combined, it wasn't anything distracting, it was just an element that I happened to notice. Along with having some characters that fulfill certain stereotypes, and the movie does hit certain movie beats that we've seen a lot of times beforehand. At this point, I don't mean to just be presenting, I guess, all of the negative aspects of the movie. Perhaps I could have, blended this a little bit better in my review, but this is how it's going. Because there is a lot to enjoy about this film. I just wanted to give as well-rounded a review as I possibly could. So, setting aside some issues I have with some of the characters and some of the plot points, this film is competently made and the visuals are great. Just being honest, the best part of this movie is our star, Godzilla, and the other rising titans. If you felt deprived of monsters in the 2014 Godzilla, well, you won't here. They get plenty of screen time and there is not a shortage of monster fights. Now, one of my favorite critics And I can understand why he and other people would feel this way. He felt like there was just a touch too many monster fights. I get that. Not for me. I was totally cool with it. I will say I'm not any sort of animal expert, but I do suppose that some of the monster fights became ever so slightly repetitive in how things were played out. But again, it was still super enjoyable to me. I don't know, it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't distracting, at least for me. And I really enjoyed the design of the Titans. I really liked the sound design for them. And again, not any sort of animal expert, but I felt that for the most part, how the Titans affected the environment that they were in and their general surroundings, it seemed pretty legit. For the characters that happened to be in the vicinity of some of these Titans, they had some plot armor, but that is what it is. Now, this won't spoil anything, especially if you've seen the 2014 Godzilla. You'll know this. The message and the theme of the story, at least how I viewed it and I guess interpreted it, is that there needs to be a balance on Earth, and Godzilla is a big piece to that puzzle. Along with that, we learn more about the history and the legend that surrounds Godzilla, and I felt that the director did a good job of handling and presenting this information. In the end, you're probably predominantly there to see Godzilla fight some big monsters. Our big boy gets to emote, he gets to show some street smarts, as well as some of the other Titans. They get to show that they definitely have a level of intelligence to them. They're not just mindless beasts. So in summary, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, while it's not a great film, but it's not a bad film by any means. It falls somewhere in the middle. It's very enjoyable. If you already like and enjoy Godzilla, or if you just want to see a fun movie on the big screen, I do recommend to go see it. And I have no idea how this happened, but I saw it in 3D. Don't know how that came about. But I can at least now confirm that for me, I don't know if it enriched my overall experience. So I would say if you want to see it in normal vision, that works just fine. So if you have seen Godzilla, let me know what you think about it. Let's have a chill and friendly conversation about that in the comments down below. And this was fun, you guys. I've only done 3 reviews in the past, but this is the first time I've done a non-spoiler review, and kudos to all of the critics out there that do this on a regular basis. Having to talk about a movie without giving anything away, it's a challenge, but I liked it. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Meh.